Plaintiff Tominese Kirby says after she gave birth to the defendant's son, he insisted on getting a DNA test, which proved he was the child's biological father. Tominese claims now she and the defendant are married, but he has doubts about fathering their second child, so she petitioned the court for yet another DNA test. Defendant Garrett Kirby says before he started dating Tominese, he told her that if they ever had children, he would want DNA proof that he was the father, and he's eager to find out the truth today.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
All right. And, ma'am, you're here to determine paternity and to see whether this is your son?
Correct.
To see if this is your son?
No.
That's what I asked you, and you said yes. Yeah. All right, give me some background here.
So me and Mr. Kirby, we began dating in 2015. Shortly after we moved in with each other, he came into the relationship with trust issues from things that happened in his past. So he stated that he would like a DNA test with our children if we was to ever have any. I agreed and I said, okay, fine. I have no problem with giving you that. Also, his family was in his ear too about it. So they made a big deal.
How long after dating did all this come up?
Well, this started like right going into the relationship.
Like the first week?
No, like maybe a year later, 2016, because we had our first child.
That's not just going into the relationship. That's a year later. Go ahead.
So in 2016, we had our first child. After he was born, we did get a DNA test. Mr. Kirby is the father. So then right after our son, we got pregnant again. I got pregnant again with our daughter. Before we had our daughter, we got
Y'all
married.
had that same conversation?
No, we didn't.
Oh.
We got married right before we had our daughter. So after we had our daughter, he brought it up again. He got mad and brought it up again, said he wanted a DNA test. Also, his family was in his ear again, saying that he needs to go get a DNA test.
What, you had a bad reputation?
No.
Why everybody want a DNA test with you? Why is everybody telling him that?
Because he got trust issues, and then...
How about them? They don't have trust issues on his business. They must know something. Let me hear from you. The whole block been gossiping about you.
I'm not sure about that.
Something. Everybody's talking about everybody in your ear. Go ahead.
Before we even started dating, I mentioned to her, I said, like, we had a conversation prior to even dating. I spoke to her and I told her, like, hey, I will always have a DNA test on my children, period.
That's what she said.
And I stated that to her, and she later found out that my mom, basically, I had a conversation prior with my mom as well, like my mom telling me when I was younger, before I was active, that you should always have DNA with your children because you don't want them to grow up older and you not know, well, they not know who their father is. They thinking their father is somebody that they're not, if that makes sense. And that was the situation.
Okay. And you only had to tell her that once. All right. So what has happened since that time?
Since that time, like she said, we had our son. I had a DNA test with him. And like she was okay with it, she said, but she really wasn't.
Let's talk about the child in question. Why wasn't there a DNA for the child in question?
We were married.
Okay, so why, if you were married then and the presumption is it is your child, why did we wait and have it now? Why did we determine to have it now?
I'm not even sure. Like, it was just...
Why did we determine to have it now? You all were married. There's a presumption. Now, what do you think should defeat that presumption?
Well, because he kept bringing it up that he wants a DNA test. So every time he got mad about something, he felt like he needed a DNA test.
Would you bring it up regularly?
Yes.
But then that's why. Every time you got mad, you bring that up. Did you have reason to think she was cheating? What is your problem? Both of you all. How old is the child?
She's 1.
Yeah, I might still be on by the time she... No, I won't, but these tapes will still be around. And they're questioning paternity and not even saying why. It's on the birth certificate and they were married, so... She gonna know why y'all came in here. What you want me to tell her? Because I'm telling her what happened. What do you want me to tell your daughter when she grows up as to why you all came in here for a paternity test?
Because her daddy kept, every time he got mad, he's like, I want a DNA test. I want a DNA test.
Okay, Mama, so you're going to tell me about everything he said when he was angry with an argument. See, people need to think. You all need to think about the bigger picture here and the bigger reaction. Now you got all your friends and family. Ooh, y'all gossip. All right, y'all going to be the talk of the town now. And I'm sure he's the father, and you know it. Just because he gets mad, he says that. Come on, so we're going to give these folks something to talk about. Well, y'all like gossip. Y'all want to come on here with nonsense and throw your baby in play that she can learn about it later, because she may indeed learn about it from the neighbors or from the family and friend, from a 13-year-old who might watch my show, or a 10-year-old who might watch my show. When your child is 11, that 10-year-old will be 20 and still gossiping or still mumbling about whose daddy is whose. And they're going to be gossiping and wondering whether you're the daddy. But the fact is you are. And so the gossip can start, but it's not going to.
You happy now?
He's
Now
been
you say your
happy. Y'all knew this baby was y'all.
I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy too. So now you go tell you and your family.
I'm sorry.
Now y'all got y'all clarity. Thank you. Our relationship is most likely gonna be better now because he got his clarity. This is what he wanted, so.
Yeah.